Hey fellas, well, with the Sonic movie having a record breaking opening, I'll probably address that in a video again I was not planning on, but probably will do a sort of a calm with storm this weekend. But for today, there will be a Pokemon vlog, which will be tackling three major subject matter which have a common theme of progression. I mean, lack of it, not in your life, Buster. So there was a clear here throughway for all three of these subject matters as well as other ones. So first off, the latest episode of the new series in Japan and the 13th episode of that series, roughly translated as Ash and Ash and Leon, the road to the top. I mean, it's just like since the good stuff just came out, I'm just kind of, and I'll admit, I'm still working on my Japanese personally, but it also has indeed dealing with the Gigantamax Dreadnought from the last episode, and well, looks like I bet on the wrong ponytail there for just the Dynamax, because the Gigantamax has brought back the thick Pikachu who for the first time in more than 20 years, much like it has the games. And naturally, a, they're all Ash is awestruck not only by Leon, but also the fact that he had such as power before he even gets a Dynamax band. I guess he likes them big, he likes them chunky. And while it's not a formal battle, and while Leon still comes out on top, Ash's morale is definitely not broken, and instead it galvanizes him into wanting to better himself. And I think it's maybe the first time we actually see a mastery defined in Galar, where with the cave progression, like you have the Poke Cup, the Great League, the Ultra League, and the Master League at the top, which does kind of make sense. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that plays out. One of the people I'm following, even though I don't agree with everything he says, he postulated and that the other Galar leader is going to be elsewhere in the world, and they have to go there other regions. But if this represents an indication, the opposite is probably going to happen, where if it's a world championships, not just with the Galar, potential all past characters are going to be coming there instead. And so it might be interesting to see some of that. I may be getting ahead of myself, but there's an idea that they're trying to who better themselves, not taking the defeat as a loss on itself, but rather as an opportunity to improve. On that note, the second chapter of the Twilight Lanes OVA just came out. It was uploaded to the series for the YouTube channels, and I guess because of the COVID situation and that this is one of the channels I've chosen to manually choose which videos fall under this and others do not. But this one follows the gym leader B after the end of the last episode, going to train yourself and a Pokemon and her journey takes her across a vast desert through fierce storms and even through the Galar mines. And I may be wrong, but I'm thinking maybe the Twilight Lanes might actually be something similar as the Corviknight taxi system, which there's mode transportation, and even the cabbie in a way show how everyone in that region and potentially the entire Pokemon world are connected in some way. I don't know about the Digimon comparisons, but it's definitely a unique way of showing things, and way better than Chronicles did. Yeah. I mean, the animation style they went with is just fantastic. I really like how people keep how they're building on what was done in previous ones like Origins and Generations, and how even though one of my sources doesn't really agree with the change they made, I actually think they actually make sense in a way. Hey, maybe he only may experience it differently, but he suggests they should just do something like that. And my reply to that would be they technically have. I mean, it's not the exact moments. It's ones that are set in the same fictional universe. It's kind of like how you would say an Elseworld is the best way to describe it. Kind of like how, again, he pointed out other adaptations, but I'll also do the same. Just how Maguire's Spider-Man is distinctly different from Garfield's and Holland's, as well as all the ones in the Spider-Verse as well, and how a character like Thor started out relatively close to his counterpart before Taika really opened him up in Thor Ragnarok and presumably could do more with him in Love and Thunder as well. So, just seeing something as simple as a young woman going to the Gallo mines, or a cabbie return a lost or potentially misplaced item to someone, and seeing Hop watch these events unfold at home before he goes on his own journey. I mean, I actually kind of like that kind of amount of world building, like just to see how the events play out when the player character isn't around. How when which is what's something as I think is what Chronicles tried to do, but only this time I think it's working. And because it's not as simple as like removing one character or another. You actually have to write a script based on what you have and focus on that. I mean, if you offer something, you have to make it worth people's while. You know, it's that simple. I mean, just dismissing it as a scam, um, and trying to immediately go to the worst case scenario, to me is an incredibly pessimistic way of thinking, which I simply don't identify with. Last, but definitely not least, is my early impressions of Pokemon Home based on the base app, which I currently have installed on both my Switch and my mobile. I mean, the mobile version took quicker to install than the Switch one did, which led to some confusion because it somehow thought that my mobile and Switch accounts are separate. It's when they were both tied to my same ID. I got up and running finally after about 10 hours, as well as some talking with customer service, as well as tinkering. I'm at least glad. Well, I'm at least glad whenever I have a problem if I'm not the only one that encounters it. So, but after that, I was able to get it up and running. It seems to be working fine. It's at least going smoother than how Bank was at launch. At least personally. In sense, apart from that minor gaffe, if I'm looking forward to playing with it, and it also was pretty cut and dry to which ones can't be put into the current games, at least not yet. I mean, it's been more and more clear there are contingencies. I don't know about this leak either, whether or not it's going to be accurate, but at least that's also telling me which ones are at least in the game's code, if not the not the decks, because. But I was kind of like how simple the OS is to understand between the two versions. Since I like having the Grand Oak, who is actually apparently even older than the main Professor Oak, Samuel, they've had for years, as well as wearing some quasi a a arrow shades, kind of looking like a Pokemon version of Morpheus. Yes, and and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this functions as time goes forward because apparently I see the next natural progression of Bank on the 3DS. So at which point I'm gonna be opting into the full version once I have the funds to do so for a year, and I'm basically gonna be emptying in the bank on my 3DS. Main once that happens, and so far I'll be looking forward to seeing what I can do with this. I mean, I like how there are tests in the Switch version, while it's challenged in the mobile version. I mean, little incentives to making even something as simple as moving things around like a game. Hey, that's actually kind of neat. I'll admit, that's a little thing I really enjoy. Apart from some occasional, busy servers. It took me a bit to get it installed on my Switch. But I also had to get my Switch and mobile accounts unified. Thankfully, I didn't do anything else major besides install the mobile app and the Switch app. So basically, I had to start right over on the mobile version. So just make sure. Okay, so if you haven't gotten yet, make sure you do the Switch version first, and then the mobile one in that order. I don't know what it's like right now, but I definitely learned the hard way how confusing that can get, even if they're both technically tied to the same Nintendo ID or other login. And so, oh, and also, trades only on local is currently like in Pokemon Go. They're rolling out more features for that soon, but my information's in my channel info, so anyone else want to join me, there it is. And I will talk to you all again later. Yeah.